Welcome. It's good to see you all. And on behalf of Governor Heealey and Lieutenant Governor Driscoll, we really appreciate you coming and seeing some of the good work we're doing here at Camp Curtis Guild. And one thing I like to say about Camp Curtis Guild, from my time as the Adjutant General, we had 4 major commands in the National Guard, and they're all Army, and I'm Air Force. And so for me to speak Army was a challenge. And this place was my home. When I came to the 151 here, they treated me like I was one of them, and they introduced me to the Army and what it means to be a soldier. And it was a great experience for me, and it's an honor for me now, on behalf of the governor, to be here and come home. And so, how ironic that we have a place like this where we have hundreds, almost thousands of people coming into our state seeking a home, seeking the American dream, seeking an opportunity to build something for themselves and their families. And most of them are young adults with very young kids, and this is a pathway for us as we join with the federal government to give them an opportunity. And it's a great, great story. So we've been partnering. This is not done by one person or one team or one group. So we've been partnering across the board with a number of agencies and people that are here, up here in front of you all, representing some of those groups. We have Dave Coe, the Deputy Assistant to President Biden here, the former Chief of Staff at the United States Department of Labor, and he's no stranger to our Commonwealth. So for you, Dan, welcome home. Thank you. We have Sue Terry, who's here. Where's Sue?
Right here, General. General, over here.
Oh, there she is. There she is, Sue Terry, Deputy Secretary for our Executive Office of Public Safety and Security. We have Dawn right here, Dawn Brantley, who's Director of our Massachusetts Emergency Management Agency. We have Lieutenant Colonel Patrick Donnelly of the Massachusetts National Guard. And next to him, we have Specialist Colin. She was born and raised here, but her parents were Haitian, and if she wanted to talk to her grandmother, she spoke Haitian. So to have her speaking Creole here is the true nature of the National Guard and what we do in our business in uniform, because our primary mission in the Guard is to help other people, and she's the epitome of helping other people and language call and treating the kids like they're her own, so that's pretty special. We have Massachusetts State Police Detective Lieutenant Sharon Maurer down there. She's a commander of the cadet program, we've had a number of cadets here helping us out. Christina Aguilera, there you are. Okay, thanks. She's executive director of our Office of ORI, our Office of Refugees and Immigrants. We have Beth Gowan. There she is. She's from our Executive Office of Labor and Workforce Development. Jill Sabrier is here as the Executive Director of Mabel Center for Immigrant Justice. We have Tyrese Nichols, Deputy Commissioner of the Department of Early Education and Care, and she's a EEC, I think the EEC board member was supposed to be here is oh, yeah, they're both here as well. We have Holly Grant. Where's Holly? There she is. Holly Grant is our CEO of Red Cross of Massachusetts. And we have Margine Perrot from Catholic Charity down here at the end. So I want to thank you all for being here. And I'd like to say a few things about our program and what we've been doing. This has been an immense team effort at unprecedented levels of collaboration. As you can see, all the different partners and agencies from the community and state and federal government. I want to take some time to provide you with an update on how we've been doing here to support work-eligible migrants over the course of the 2 weeks. As of this morning, our work authorization clinic has served more than 1,700 people. That number is expected to grow throughout today because today's the last day of the clinic and we're still continuing on. Federal, state, nonprofit organizations work together to expedite these applications as quickly as possible and reduce the processing time to a matter of weeks rather than months through this complicated process. With over 500 volunteers coming through our doors, they filled over 1,500 shifts to provide essential support and a welcome environment for our families. More than 900 adults and children have been vaccinated, thanks to our Department of Health. I'm one of them, even though I'm not part of the group. I did take my opportunity to get my vaccinations here too. So it does work. I can attest to that. Over 170 families have started the process for child care financial assistance. And Mass Hire volunteers have registered nearly 650 individuals to help them begin their career journeys. When work authorization is achieved, Mass Hire will follow up with each individual to help with their job search and connect them with employment partners, work readiness programs, and trained providers. We've seen firsthand the urgency and determination that new arrivals have when it comes to attaining work authorization. It's actually very encouraging and impressive to see how eager they are to work in our country. These migrants are all here legally, and they are eager to work, and our business is to help them get employed. This clinic has been critical in connecting more migrants to work opportunities, which will help them support their families and move out of emergency shelter and into stable housing. It has helped put hundreds of shelter residents on a new path to self-sufficiency. And I'd like to thank the clinic that helped these families find hope. I am grateful for how this has brought together our community partners, immigration attorneys, nonprofit agencies, and all levels of our government to support families and welcome all these people with dignity, respect, and get them on their feet. As part of that partnership, it has been partnered with U.S. Department of Homeland Security, and now I'd like to welcome Dave Coe to say a few words about the Biden administration's work with us on this clinic. So thank you.
On behalf of the President, I'm just here to say thank you. Thank you to Governor Heealey, thank you to Lieutenant Governor Driscoll, thank you to all of the partners who have made this a reality. I'm the Deputy Director of Intergovernmental Affairs for the President, and the one thing that the President deeply, deeply believes is making sure that local, state governments have the tools that you all need and that we work together collaboratively. Thanks to the great work and partnership between Massachusetts, the Biden-Harris administration, and nonprofits, as mentioned, we've been able to help over 1,700 migrants in Massachusetts shelter system apply for work permits, and that number continues to rise. Work authorization is a critical step to help new arrivals get jobs to support their families on a path to stable housing. As I mentioned, this clinic is a clear demonstration of the life-changing impact that we can have when all of us work together and cut through all the bureaucracy. This was a collaboration in the truest sense of the word, working collaboratively across the state, the federal government, community organizations, and legal services. And as the General alluded to, thanks to the processing improvements at DHS, we work together with the state and are accelerating the time it takes to approve work permits for certain people to an average of just 30 days. President Biden has made it clear, though, that we need more funding to execute on our border security and management strategy, including enhancing our enforcement measures and support communities who are hosting recently arrived migrants. Ultimately, we are working with a system where everyone agrees has its flaws, and that is why, in his first day in office, President Biden presented his proposal for comprehensive immigration reform, which he continues to push. But for now, we will continue to use every available tool to address the historic global levels of migration we are seeing. And the only way that we can be effective as an administration is if we have amazing partners. And the state of Massachusetts and Governor Heealey have been the model partners for us. And so we are here. We are here not just today or tomorrow, but ongoing to support all of you. And we're very grateful for the opportunity to be here today. So thank you very much. And I'd like to.
Hey, good morning. As part of the ongoing all-of-government effort led by the Heealey-Driscoll administration to assist families in emergency assistance shelter, the Massachusetts Emergency Management Agency, MEMA, has led the build-out and operation of the Work Authorization Center, providing staff, equipment, and supplies to support the clinic, and working in close coordination with the Massachusetts National Guard to provide on-site operational management. MEMA is very proud to lend our logistical capabilities and operational expertise to this critical effort. I'm particularly proud of the MEMA team members who've contributed both their time and their expertise, completing tasks ranging from planning the site and building it out, managing day-to-day operations, leading the tactical operations group, compiling staffing rosters and schedules across numerous agencies and organizations, and even cleaning up the facility at the end of the day. The MEMA team has been critical to the success of this mission, and I am just extraordinarily proud of that team. This mission has also been a great example of the strong partnerships that we have with voluntary organizations who have provided more than 500 volunteers to staff the clinic, have donated food, drinks, children's books, toys, and as you'll see today, volunteer runners from the American Red Cross and other organizations have helped families navigate the center and can often be seen entertaining children so that parents can focus on completing their applications. The American Red Cross, Tzu Chi, Salvation Army, and all the volunteer paralegals, lawyers, and interpreters have been nothing short of incredible. As we conclude this mission today, I also want to recognize and thank FEMA Region 1, who have provided support wherever they can, and it's much appreciated. We have also had a wonderful group of Massachusetts State Police cadets who I want to recognize and thank. They've been assisting at several of the most critical stations in the process, and I have been consistently impressed with their dedication and professionalism. I also want to say a huge thank you to our National Guard partners for being such gracious hosts and working side by side with us throughout this operation. That team has been the core of the success, and we can't say enough great things about the National Guard. I'd like to hand it over now to Lieutenant Colonel Patrick Donnelly.
I'm Commander of Task Force Shelter. I'm accompanied today by Specialist Grace Colin, member of Task Force Shelter. Massachusetts National Guard serves as a force multiplier to assist our interagency partners meet the needs of the Commonwealth. The unique combination of military and civilian capabilities of our service members provide the capability to quickly and effectively deploy in support of a wide range of operations. Our ability to fulfill these diverse missions is made possible through strong partnerships with state government agencies and other organizations. We work closely with our partners to share resources, expertise, and information, ensuring that the Commonwealth is always prepared for whatever challenges may arise. I'd like to thank everyone here from our state and federal partners for their outstanding support and work over these past weeks. Your efforts have made the Work Authorization Center a resounding success. To our soldiers and airmen working this site and the hundreds of service members who are employed at shelters across the state currently, great work and thank you. You personify our motto, always ready, always there. I'll be followed by the Executive Director of the Office for Refugees and Immigrants, Christina Aguilera.
As an immigrant originally from Venezuela, but also as the Executive Director of the Office for Refugees and Immigrants, in this critical point in time when we're tasked with welcoming and resettling and supporting immigrants and refugees as our world and our nation requires and steps up to really show leadership to all of the mass mobilization that is happening across the world. I have to share a story because about a month or two ago, I was in one of the shelters one of the hotels in Warren, Massachusetts, where some of the Haitian, Dominican, Venezuelan, and other immigrant families were staying. And I had conversations with all of them, just like I've been having many other places, to really see how can we be responsive to their needs. And the one so loud and clear request and question that they all had was, when can we start to work? And today we see that is only possible when we join forces. That is only possible when we come together with the Biden administration, within state government, with community-based organizations and legal service providers, with our different agencies and organizations that support with relief and emergencies, and really show that leadership and responsiveness to this task that we have on our hands. I think that the beauty of coming together will impact thousands of families, thousands of individuals that are ready not just to work, but also to contribute back to this community that they decided to choose as their new home, our Commonwealth of Massachusetts. And I am honored and privileged to be doing this within an administration in partnership with the federal government and everyone here, to be able to show to the nation that yes, we can come together and within a matter of 3 weeks put together this absolutely life-changing, historical, and impactful clinic that will impact so many families across our state and overall the well-being of all of us as a community. Thank you. Jill Seaver from the Mayville Center for Immigrant Justice, who has been instrumental in making this happen and have been doing this for years and years to support immigrants, and welcome. Thank you.
Thank you. I'm with Mayville Center for Immigrant Justice, and we provide legal services to asylum seekers throughout the state. When ORI contacted Mayville Center just 3 weeks before we were supposed to start the clinic, we were enthusiastic to collaborate and be part of it. I think it shows the rarity and size of the collaboration with such wide-ranging partners, along with the success of the clinic, illustrates what can be done when diverse forces come together with a shared goal of helping immigrants in our state. In the last few weeks, every member of our team has been here multiple days volunteering because it aligns closely with our mission to serve immigrants. We are grateful for the tremendous work that's taken place over the last few weeks, and we're honored to have been able to work closely with the Heealey-Driscoll administration, Christina Aguilera, Ronnie Miller, and Susan Church from ORI, as well as MEMA, USCIS, the National Guard, AILA, and the large number of other legal volunteers and law students. And as an immigration attorney, I don't often have the opportunity, and it's been really nice to be able to work side by side with MEMA and the National Guard and State Police. We've been humbled to see the widespread willpower, effort, and frontline work so many have put in to supporting recent arrivals and giving them the critical resource to begin their life in the U.S., a work permit. So thank you to everyone. It was an honor to work with you all. Thanks.
I have a question for Mr. Koch, if that's okay.
Sure.
Hi, how are you?
Good to see you.
I just have a question. A lot, state leaders have said the funding for this emergency shelter crisis is unsustainable. They
Yeah.
passed something today, but can the Biden administration do more? Can the Biden administration authorize more funding?
Yeah, thank you for that question. The Biden administration has already provided millions to Massachusetts, and we want to be able to do more in terms of funding. Unfortunately, we have a bill in front of Congress that's sitting there now. We're doing everything in our power to make sure that gets passed in the next meeting.
So
Dan?
essentially, though, it's on Congress to do this in.
I think there's a couple aspects. Obviously, the funding is very, very important. That's a key priority for the president. But the other thing is the funding is useless if you don't have good people on the ground and people willing to partner with the federal government to get things done. So I think this is an example of that kind of collaboration that we're trying to replicate across the country as well.
Dan, I know you say that it's up to Congress to pass reform, but the Biden administration has done more than previous administrations to make the migrants have an easier time getting across the border, staying in the country, and now getting jobs here. What do you say to critics to say you're making the problem worse by making it seem so attractive to come?
Well, yeah, sure. So I think
When
there's-
half of them, more than half of them will find their claims were not valid and they'll have to go back
So I think
after
there's-
3 years.
Of course. So I think the president obviously has a multi-layered strategy on this issue. It is worth noting that we've returned 380,000 individuals since May 12th, that we have a comprehensive strategy at the border. Border crossings or encounters in this category has actually dropped 14% since October. We're working with the Mexican and Venezuelan government on these issues as well. Of course, there's still so much work we need to do, but the administration is looking at this both from making sure that we are doing the right things at the border, as well as the people who are here legally, making sure that they have the work authorization in an expedient fashion.
Why? What do you say to critics who say it's too much, that it creates a draw that's not there otherwise?
Well, I think, first of all, the general pointed out, that these people are here legally, the people we're here helping. These are people who are here, they want to work. I'm sure if you talk to any small business owner around the country, they're saying they need workers. And so we want to make sure that we are cutting down the bureaucracy as much as possible and making that a reality.
General Rice, what's the timeline for approval, and what types of jobs in different fields do you expect many of these migrants to get into once they are approved?
The timeline has been long, and so this work clinic definitely streamlines it down to less than 30 days. So where in some cases it's months, and now it's 30 days as they come through and get all those complicated pieces together, reviewed by the attorneys and the legal teams, and then into the process. And once that's done, then the work authorization comes rather quickly. So now the jobs that they're looking for. you, as well as anyone, know that we are definitely in a employer needs workers situation across the state. There are so many unfilled jobs across the state, it's unbelievable. And so, with that, a lot of them are going into healthcare, into small businesses, as Dan talked about. But also, we have a number of high-tech workers coming into the state too. I met just last night, I met this young man who was a highly experienced forklift operator. He couldn't speak English at all, but he does speak 5 other languages. And he, on his own, went and took the forklift operator test online in English with a Google translator and passed it with a 99%. And now he shows this to me to say, can you help me get a work authorization? And I said, you're at the right place. And so we ran him through, got him the paperwork, and he's on his way. And that's a type of skilled worker that just is so eager to get out and work. That's the type of people that are coming here and looking for opportunities.
And speaking of funding, the State House and Senate appears to have reached a deal on their supplemental budget. How much do you expect from the state to help? Because the Senate didn't like the $250 million for shelters. How much do you expect from the State House?
Me, personally, in my role and responsibility, I'm not so worried about that. That is for the administration and the legislative body to take. My role is to take care of the people we have here and get focused on getting them an opportunity and a job. So that's where I'm focused.
General, do
So
you have an
that's-
update on any locations for emergency shelters, for additional shelters, just as we move forward into the winter? We still have people sleeping in the state transportation building, for instance.
So now that I've changed my work ethic and I'm working 30 hours a day, that's primarily what I'm working on. It's trying to find places. I don't have locations now. We have several that we're working at, large sites, small sites, sites that need some work, but we're trying to get there so that we don't have families out in the cold.
You or anybody else here able to quantify how much pressure you're able to take off the shelter system, or is that not even happening yet until people can actually get the jobs and move on?
Correct. We do have a number of people. We've had over 500 people leave our system in the last few months because they've got jobs and they have housing. So with that's good.
How does that compare to what was happening before?
It's increase. We're on an increase of people leaving the shelter and getting jobs, and that's a win-win.
2 questions. One, both of them follow-ups. One, are convention centers, kind of on the list of things that you're considering for shelter, whether it's the Hines or BCEC?
Yes and no. And the reason why I am in the middle with that is because an open space is open to me to look at and consider. But there's a lot of complexities with convention centers that it's just, I'm going in other directions right now before we even consider that.
Are you, oh, I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, it's okay. And the second one is, will this happen again? Will there be another week or more of the work permit clinic given the success of this one?
And actually, that's a great question, and yes, we're considering when, how, where, do we do it enduring? There's a lot of questions we have, but this is not the end. We will definitely be working on work authorizations in the future, because this is our best success to get somebody on their feet, out of our shelter system, into our community, and start contributing as they want to and we want them to.
General,
I
are
have a
you
question
seeing
for
what
her.
Yes,
happens
ma'am.
if something does get denied, or if it does take a longer period of time? I know, talking with different organizations, that's kind of what they're worried about, because they have been dealing with migrants, that it's been over a year for these authorizations to come through. What would happen next to those families?
I'm sorry, start again. I
That's
missed
okay.
something
If-
in the beginning of your
that's
question.
okay. That if, what happens if, they apply,
Right.
it gets denied,
Right.
or if it does take a longer, allotted time, and that's what organizations are worried about, is that it has been taking, over 6, 7, 8 months.
Absolutely. So as we focus on exits and getting people an opportunity and get on their feet, there's a number of things and challenges. One of them's work. And so this clinic is moving us forward by leaps and bounds in that area. And so that's what we're focusing on, helping each one of these pockets of problems and issues and trying to get forward so that we don't have people in shelter system for years and years. Right now, we're doing okay, and we're doing much better now with this clinic.
Last question.
General, are you seeing
Got
a
a question here.
slowdown in the number of families who are coming to the state, given that the weather is getting colder, or is it kind of staying the same?
I'm a process statistics guy, so I value that question because I'm looking at it every day, and it takes us time to see the trend. The trends are going down, but that's only over the last few weeks. So, you know, sometime in October, the numbers coming into the state started to go down. Now, that after that, we put a cap in place. After that, the weather got cold. So I don't know the relationship between them all yet. I need more time to actually really answer that question.
He has the last question.
And I'll answer that for you.
I would like to say thank you on behalf of my community for helping my brothers and sisters, our nation.
Say what
I
community?
would like to say thank you on behalf of my community.
Which community is that?
Haiti, Haitian.
Haitian, okay.
Haitian community. The question is for Don. We, as Haitian, I know the problem, why my brothers and sisters leaving the country to come here to seek opportunity. The problem is because of the gun violence, insecurity, all the stuff. So, as you guys are aware that our president was killing, you know, was assassinated in his house, in his home. And then the guy who is the prime minister right now, his name is on the report that he's one of the suspects. So the government is still working with him, and we need election. So do the government plan to help us to get the election, to get a new president so that it can stop the violence and then people will stop fleeing the country?
Now, I want to defer to my national security colleagues on the details of that, but I know it's very much on the radar screen of the president of various conditions around the world, including Haiti. And it's just really important for us, especially with what's happening in Massachusetts, that we're doing all we can to take care of the people who are here and who are seeking a better life here in Massachusetts, and making it as seamless as possible for them to be here in Massachusetts and to work as quickly as they would like to do.
Thank you, everybody.
General, can I just get your reaction to the fact that there's a deal at the State House? How helpful will this be as you move forward directing this?
I really, really can't answer that. And it's not because I don't want to, it's because I'm so focused on the overflow sites and where we're gonna put people as the cold builds, and we have a wait list that's growing. So that's my energy, and I leave all of that to other people.
How big is the wait list? How big is the
So
wait list? You said it's growing.
I'm done with questions, but I do wanna say one more statement.
You just said the wait list is growing. How big is it now?
It's about 100. So I'd like to say this. I already told you I'm a process statistics guy. My 40 years in the military really, really reinforced that. And so as I retired from my other professions in the military, back last spring, I was really honored to have the governor call me up and the lieutenant governor and them talk to me about doing this opportunity. Because even though I may be good at it, and I'm gonna bring all my skill sets from the military and my education and experience and passion to this to help all these people, but my passion is with those kids. Last night I had a great opportunity at 10 Park Plaza to hand out blankets and sleep kits from the Red Cross to kids that would just smile and be so appreciative that they have a warm place to stay and a cot with a blanket. It's just unbelievable how great it is. Thank you very much for all being here.
So, nom se Grace Colin, nan spécialiste dans United States Army. Em 25 ans.
Oh, ok. So, qui ça exactement, dans le cadre clinique là, qu'a fait là, qui ça ou fait exactement comme travail?
Moi-même, ça me fait, je travaille avec Timonio. Les Timonio a grand goût à crier. Je prends yo, marcher avec yo, jouer avec yo. Pour maman avec papa yo, ka fini ça y a fait.
Ou traduire pour eux, faire traduction pour eux.
Yeah, si yo vle, si yo madem, sim là, si yo pas joindre moi pour faire. So, yo relem faire pour yo.
Combien on voit en général comme c'est haïtien qui viennent, est-ce qu'ils ont pile en moyenne combien ils gagnent comme ça?
Un paquet. C'est ça seulement que je ne sais pas combien, seulement qu'on est un paquet.
Mais là, qui j'en vous senti en tant que petit haïtien, eh bien, au trouve qu'on y a dans le travail, c'est pour bagage peut-être 2 ans, 3 ans, tu pensé que tu as gagné pour faire, eh bien, l'autre trouve dans la situation ça, ou utile eh bien, haïtiens qui ont senti dans le genre de travail ça qu'on fait.
Avant, lem te wè yo avant, mte trist. Because sa yo fè, se yon bagay telman nou pa fè, kom Amerike. Kom soldat nou pa fè sa tout. But sa yo fè, soldat pa ka fè. So mte trist, but lem wè yo, ke yo kontan, m kontan tou. M ka travay, m ka translate pou yo, m ka pale ave yo, m ka jwe ak ti moun yo, sa fè m kem kontan. Because pa gen yon paket moun ki ka fè.
Mais est-ce que dans base Kotoya, c'est ou même seulement qui haïtien ou bien est-ce que les autres haïtiens yo là mais yo pas parler créole qui fait pas qu'à faire genre de travail qu'on fait.
Kote mye la gen 3 haïtien. Sel mwen menm selman ki fi nan yo. Tout moun, yo pale haïtien, yo pale, yo pale créole, yo sot Haïti, but yo de yo a. Se mwen menm selman ki yon dan, because yo wèm ka jwe ak ti moun.
Mais les manquants de créole qu'on parler là, au fait ici, qui ont fait parler créole, bon genre créole comme ça.
Maman mak papa, mal l'église haïtien, chante nan chante d'espérance.
Depuis combien de temps on a ami?
Nan Décembre ap fè 8 years we dane.
Ok, qui rang ou gagné là-dedans?
Specialist.
Pour ils ont choisi, division sont choisie, pour ils ont choisi la meilleure pour jeunes filles, pareil qui a perdu là, de ta mais suivre autant pour s'en faire. Qui ça qui motive pour te choisir?
Ok, so lem te nan high school, papa mte mou. Pat bezwen maman paye pou ma al college. So, se sa mwen ka fe, but ba al college, no? So, mwen nan sa mwen men, mwen fet travay, pe isi mwen fet lot bo. So, pa telman mal.
Est-ce que présence ou en dedans aide changer perception quelqu'un t'a gagné des haïtiens, moun qui viennent yo, gens yo comprennent yo, qui gens est-ce que ça a changé pour vous même d'après vous?
Oui, parce que yo pat kompon. Yo selman wè yo di yo mpa reme sa, yo fè sa, yo fè isi, yo fè lot bo, but m explike yo sot loin. Yo fè bagay nou pa ka fè. Se mwen menm ki al Afghanistan, m'ale, m retourne. M'al Irak, m retourne. But yo menm, tout nan nou pa ale. So yo menm yo pa ka domi de yo pa ka mache, jan yo mache, yo pa ka kampe, jan yo kampe. So m explike yo sa, and then kounya yo kompon.
Donc, vous servez à l'étranger dans plusieurs autres bases pour Irak, Afghanistan aussi?
2020.
Ok. Je dis qui côté où était tout dans 5 ans encore, qui côté où était tout dans la mer? Qui j'en où était tout? Est-ce que vous voyez comme ce plus gros gars qui t'a gagné, probablement venu colonel, plus gros gars qui gagne dans.
Li pas tellement facile comme ça. Parce que ça dépend ça ou fait pour travail. Moi même pour travailler dans l'armée, je fais supply. So, si il y a espace pour moi, je vais aller. Mais depuis qu'il n'y a pas de place, je vais être dans ça. Il y a d'autres gens qui sont grands, qui n'ont pas besoin de retire. So, il n'y a pas de place pour moi yet. So, je ne sais pas ça m'a fait, mais je l'ai toujours.
Pour nous retourner dans le travail que vous avez fait, surtout pour insister en pile sur le contact que vous gagnez et nous traduit pour tout le monde et parler avec tout le monde pendant ce temps que maman ou papa eux même occupé pour remplir papier. Qui dans contact ou gagnez avec parents lorsqu'on fait travail ça qui gens ou parents yo comprendre le travail que vous faites. Qui ça yo dou et vous parlez avant.
Oh, yo dit un bon job. En fait ici, je peux parler créole, yo ka comprendre, je peux parler avec ti moun yo, je peux parler en petit espagnol. So yo dit maman me fait bon job. Ça seulement yo dit.
Mais vous avez opportunité pendant votre travail là, ou rencontrer avec compatriotes ça ou aider, l'on parler avec maman. Qui ça maman dit, qui ça nous échanger sur le travail qu'on va faire et dans aide ou à bailler à compatriotes ça.
Maman pas tellement dit rien, lui seulement dit pour prier. Prier because je ne connais pas ça moun pense de moi, je ne connais ça y a dit, je ne connais ça yo, je ne connais, lui dit seulement le rentrer prier, le sortir prier.
Bon, parler créole là, c'est un gros avantage lié pour vous, non seulement c'est petit haïtien, mais est-ce que vous n'avez jamais imaginé juste créole là, l'étape méthode au centre, au spotlight, comme ça, je dis, parce que tout j'ai fait que c'est sur des pensées ça?
Non, because yo te mande ki lang nou pale. L'autre année, m di créole haïtien, yo di yo pas besoin ça. Qu'on y a la garde. So,
Quand il y a besoin,
Yeah.
comme je suppose qu'il y a pile de demande pour ici. Qui conseille au cabaye et ces jeunes qui t'ont aimé entrer dans l'armée, qui pas connaît une mauvaise conception de lui, ou penser au cas de la guerre, au cas de mourir, ou bien au penser à l'autre bagage, qui soit qu'à expliquer comme ça.
T'as dit premièrement à l'école. Fais des devoirs, tendez maman, tendez papa, tendez tout ça yo a dit. Il y a des fois nous pas voulons tendre. Mais faut nous tendre, faut nous prier, faut nous lire Bible nous because nous pas connaît ça qui passe nous. Si vous voulez entrer, vous mettez entrer. Mais faut prier.
So how has the experience been like here, helping people who look like you and also speak your language? What have they been telling you?
I kind of gotten a lot of their story, how they had to travel from Haiti to Chile, and from Chile they explained that they walked here. They explained that they were in the woods. Some people got eaten, some people died because they couldn't eat, they couldn't survive. A lot of women and children passed. But they just basically explained that they're strong, resilient, and they're happy to be here.
What is this like compared, I mean, walking from Chile and then getting here and getting this kind of help and treatment has to be mind-boggling.
It is, but they're happy. A lot of people, they've been through a lot, but they're still happy to be here. So I think that's what we should learn from.
Has that changed how you perceive your job? I mean, I'm sure you didn't expect to be, thrown in a room and having to do this. How does that change your perspective on the job that you have here?
No. I think what we were told to do, we're doing. What they explained that we would be doing, I think is exactly what we've done. They told us not to expect anything, so that's pretty much the National Guard.
Oh, yeah.
What do you say to people, there's anti-migrant stuff out there. You're seeing these people face to face. That's got to be, something people don't see. When you see a little child, you see the whole family, it might change your mind. But what do you say to people who say, they're anti-migrants?
They've been through a lot, and they're still willing to work. A lot of people that's been through that much, they'd rather just stay at home and give up, but these people are willing to work every single day. And I think that's something we should consider, admire from them.
What are these migrants telling you when you sit down with them and you're speaking to them in Creole? Because it breaks down that barrier.
They are shocked. They don't think, a lot of them think I was born in Haiti. I was born here. I learned the language from my mom, my dad, and my church, just my family. That's pretty much it. But a lot of them are shocked, and they're like, wow, we have like a Haitian in the army, so a lot of them want to join the army. A lot of them are just excited. So it's grateful, it's a blessing. So I'm just happy to be here, happy to help.
Personal, how do you feel when you see Joe?
It's sad. At first it was sad, but to see their resilience, it just makes me feel better. If they could do it, we could do it. Because, yeah, it's not good.